If your surface design portfolio is full of random standalone pieces, then this video is going to change how you see everything. Hello everyone! Welcome to Art Business with Ness. I'm Ness and I'm a professional illustrator. Welcome back to our 5-part video series about surface design, and this is the big one. We are going to talk about collections. Working in collections is one of the biggest factors that differentiate hobbyists from professional surface designers. And that's because that's how art directors like to shop. They shop in collections. Imagine that an art director has to create a spring stationery line, for example. They have multiple different products to create, and so they won't need just one hero pattern for this. They need multiple designs, multiple patterns, as well as matching icons and illustrations to match. If your work doesn't come in collections, even if they really like one of the designs, they'll have to complete the collection by buying stuff from other designers and then trying to collage it together. Of course, that takes more time, and when you try to put together designs made from multiple different artists, it rarely looks cohesive. So if you have beautiful designs and your artwork is already grouped, then this is an easy yes for the art director. You are making their life so easy, they are going to love you. You're helping them visualize the whole range. But pleasing art directors isn't the only reason to work in collections. This is the absolute most beautiful and professional way to present your artwork. It just makes every design shine because all of the designs are supporting each other. Whenever I look at my collections versus standalone designs, the collections just always look really special. And collections help you increase your order size, because instead of licensing just one artwork, maybe the art director is going to license 5 at once. Catching? Okay, so we've covered why it's so important to create collections. But if you've only been making collections for a short time, or if you're just going to start making collections now, maybe you're not sure where to start, it can be quite difficult to put together a really good, consistent, strong collection. And so we see many designers make a plethora of mistakes in their collections. And I see designers at all skill levels make these mistakes. There are designers that are so talented and their individual designs are to die for. But you look at the collections and it's just, it falls short. So listen up, we are going to cover the 5 biggest collections mistake that may be costing you clients. Mistake number 1, I see this one all the time, that is too many designs in one collection. More isn't always better. I see a lot of artists think that a collection means, 12, 15, or even 20 designs. Honestly, I think this is too much. I'm not even sure where those numbers even come from. The only thing that I can think of is there are a lot of popular teachers that come from the fabric industry. And it is true that fabric industry, infamously, they do like larger collections. We'll often see a lot of very simple blender patterns. We'll see a lot of different colorways of the same patterns into these huge collections. But that is one of the only industries that shops like this. In most other industries, creating huge collections like this will just be overwhelming for the buyer. It's so much to look at. In such a large collection, some of the designs that may be your very best start getting lost. The more designs there are to look at, the more our eyes naturally start skipping over stuff as we look at the page. Plus, the collection can start feeling a bit repetitive. To say nothing of the fact that if you're just starting creating collection, making a collection of 15 designs can seem like such a huge undertaking. It's very intimidating, and it's certainly not necessary. Most of the time, I work in sets of 3 or 6 designs, and that's always worked super well for me. Each piece really gets a good shot to shine. You're not overwhelming the client with too many buying options. I think that this is really a good number, or even up to 8. But any more than 8, I would think maybe it's a little bit too much. Mistake number 2 is mixing different themes in the same collection. Of course, we can have different topics and different icons in a collection to put a little bit of variety in there, but the core theme should really be consistent throughout. Don't put Easter themes and dogs and desserts all in the same collection just because you happen to have drawn all of them in the same week. Those don't really match together necessarily. Each collection should have one clear theme. When you're trying to do too much and the theme is a little bit muddy, it can look a lot less professional and confusing. The art director can start wondering, who is this for exactly? What kind of occasion is this for? I don't understand. If you have a ton of ideas, remember, you can just make more collections, right? But try to stick to one idea, one large idea per collection. Focus, and it will make for a stronger collection that people really can understand what it's about. Mistake number 3 is the complete opposite of the previous problem, and that's not enough variety. We do want everything in the collection to follow the same theme, and we want everything to be well matching together. But matching doesn't mean that each design has to be identical. That's just going to feel super repetitive and tremendously boring. And this can be a hard balance. I often see this mistake. Collections where everything just kind of looks like the same. That is not what a collection should be. You should always try to have as much variety as possible within your core theme and color palette. So you want to mix more complex hero designs with simpler designs like blenders and coordinates. You want to try different layouts and compositions, and you want to draw different motifs in each design. And this last point is actually super important, so much so that it deserves its own mistake in and of itself. So moving on to mistake number 4, reusing motifs across different designs of the collection. This is a huge can of worms. First of all, reusing motifs between different designs might seem like a really quick and easy and efficient way to make more different designs out of stuff that you've already drawn, but it actually makes your collection look very repetitive. Each design in the collection just like a slightly different flavor of the same thing. It's too repetitive. But not only that, there are huge copyright implications in doing that. When you license or sell a design to a company, you are giving them the copyrights to everything inside the design. So if you have some of these motifs are being reused in another design, technically you've given them the copyrights to that one too. And you won't be able to sell or license that design to another company unless it was a non-exclusive license. But most companies want at least some type of exclusivity. What we see the most commonly requested is product exclusive license. So for example, let's say you have a fabric company and they license your design, then they are the only fabric company that are allowed to use this design. You can't license it again to another fabric company. And even if you already have it up on Spoonflower or something, you would have to take it down, along with any other designs that also include these motifs. So if on Spoonflower you have 10 different versions of this pattern in different colors where the flowers are arranged a little bit differently, all 10 of these have to go down, and you won't be allowed to license any of them again to another fabric company. So if you're reusing motifs, when you sell any one of them, you can pretty much decimate the entire collection. Ouch. From a financial standpoint, it actually makes a lot more sense to have each design be their own unique design that don't reuse any motifs, so that you have more opportunities to license different things in the collection. 6 designs that can all be licensed separately can bring in 6 times the money. So instead of, let's say, reusing the same flower everywhere, just draw another few flowers. It's not that complicated, and it also adds a lot of variety to your collection. So it's really a win-win. It's fine to recycle ideas or redraw similar themes, but when it comes to motifs, I think it's really a much better deal if you're not reusing them. It also makes it so much easier for you to track everything, because if you make a sale and then you have to go find all of the other designs that reuse the same motifs, maybe they're in other collections, maybe it becomes a whole mess very quickly. It's much easier to keep track of if every design is different. So don't literally copy paste your same motifs everywhere. That's a whole mess. So you don't want to get into that. And finally, mistake number 5 is trying to reinvent the wheel. There is a very fine line between original and unmarketable. And that's something that took me a long time to figure out. Whenever I tried tackling a topic, I wanted to do it my own way, but very often I took it too far and no one wanted it. I see a lot of artists who try a little bit too hard to be original and unique and end up creating collections that are just too specific, too niche, or don't fit the market anymore. And to give you an example, I once tried creating a new and unique Easter collection. I was seeing all over the place these Easter collection that had bright multicolor pastels, and I thought, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do like a dark and moody and sophisticated kind of woodland Easter theme. And so I had all of these like dark green and dark color palette in my Easter collection. Honestly, I don't know what I was thinking, because this kind of dark and moody and serious vibe is not the vibe for Easter. No one is looking for that. No one wants that. It didn't feel right at all. This collection, of course, did not sell. And now that I'm looking at it, it's not a surprise. For Easter, people want fun, springy, multicolor pastels, and that's okay. I find that colors is often not the place where you really want to be original with it. You can get away with more with like different icons and, maybe bringing in cats for Easter or things like that. Maybe you could get away with that. But dark colors Easter, that is not a place where you want to experiment too much. People have their specific colors for specific occasions, and anything outside of that is probably going to be unmarketable, as was my Easter collection. A few years later, I actually ended up recoloring this collection, and when I did, then it immediately sold. So my advice is choose some popular marketable themes and then do them in your own way, but don't take it too far. It doesn't have to reinvent the wheel in order to be a fresh take. In order to be successful, it's really important to find a balance between creativity and market appeal. So what about you? Are you making one of these collection mistakes, or maybe even all of these mistakes? Let me know in the comments. And if you are, don't worry, don't take it too hard. It just means that you're learning and that you still have room for improvement, which is actually a good thing. In order to fix a problem, you have to know what it is. So if you're doing one of these mistakes, now you know exactly what you have to fix and how you can make more sales next time. And that's a very hopeful thing. Okay, so now you know what kind of art sells and you know what kind of collections mistakes might be holding you back. But how do you fix all of this? We'll be talking about that in the next video, the last video of our 5-part series. I'll see you there.